Assalamu alaikum friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video I will tell you about magazine lead Enfield. But before starting this video I will request you to subscribe my channel. Now let's start the video. The Lee Enfield rifle was introduced in November in 1895 at the three Cleveland and Magazine Lee Enfield or more commonly Magazine Lee Enfield ML, sometimes spoken in the Emily interested of years shortener visions of the introduced by the Enfield Cavalry Caribbeans magazine. Both underwest miners and upgrade series of 1898, automation and cleaning in the carpenting route became the many LEC and ML smaller numbers of converted to specially partnering, namely of New Zealand and Caribbean of the Royal Contestry of LG New Zealand in the all over the overseas in cells of the shorter and lighter version of original MLE and Raffles short magazine Lee Enfield in the SMLE spoken in Smiley rather than SM in was introduced in on 1 January in 1904. The barrel was new halfway of the length between of the original long-time rifles of the carbine in 2.5 inches in 64 and in the visual and department. The trade of mark was the nose of since bonnets and boss introduced in the small fractions if inch in the behind of nose pins became model of the sandwich in model 1984 and cavalry carbine of new rifles all also introduced chain loading system. Another imprehensive brought of the measures and rifle of notify in the difference of fixed garbage in the later became stand and stem charger in the clip simples guide of the face to both head. The shorter length of the conversions in the time of many rifle association members and the instrumental would be in the as of the much in unknown and unable person best unknownly and in this semi and of along with the partner in the features of simple rears in the sight or gantis in the fixed rather than bolt head amount ceiling and charger guide. The design of hand guards if the magazines were also improved the camber and the update of environmental in the communication and many early models of the magazine early Enfield in the magazine of the MLE were abils in the M standard. There are called MK and IM in whether versions authentic in the during of First World War. In the SMMK, it was the founded to complications of the manufacturers in the government of the demands and outspit in the supply. In 1951, in introduced the corporate several charges in the most permanent of which the deletions magazine cut off machine systems in the which in hand permits of the feed-in extraction in the single garlic only while sapling and service charged the most populations in the magazine of cut-off machine system, which when in garden in system of the feed-in extraction of the single cartridge only while keeping in the cadre of magazine in the service all along range valuable in the custom adjustment of real sides in the also dependent cooking in the piece of the chain from around in the non-M slab raffles of the sum all over these features in the present in the all over changes while implicated different times of the different factories and as stock of the parts where development the magazine cutoff was in reinvested in the after first world war ended and more internally disappeared in the manufacturing in until 1933. Some in the will cut off the in magazine in 1960 the ability of principal manufacturers in Enfield Small Arms Company and Limited of London Small Arms Co. Operation on the Unlimited. The military of the production damage of the development of the disappear span in which contracts out the productions of whole rifles in the complements in the several cell system companies saw expenses and services throughout the second of world wars especially in the northern African Italian Pacific of the burning system and hands of the British of Communication Forces Australia and India retained in the manufacture of the MSLK in standard of the during config system in the fire Australian military services throughout the Korean War. United in the was replacement of LR and NA in 1950. The light saw small arms factories in the financial card production of the SMK in Raffles factory and LH loss of the media production and MKL and British of the then Model 2A and with strength of increase by heat treatment of the serval of bolt in the communication training years of sight of the metric conversation and distance was very close. The flatter traditionally new communication the model A81 chain on the near side of the 800 and was manufactured in at least in 1980 sporting of the basic in ML and SL. Due to poor performance in the British during of the Second War in 1998 and 1992, British attempt on the replace of around in the alley rifles in the fire in main and distant and all around us the time was they that use heavy round nose bolts in the as low as muzzle in the manufactured in 1910. The result of the new fire in the base of Meyer design was created and the fire around in called over the although it was the reflect better publishment of the our countries and system is very including extensal and muzzles in of over the World War in cent. The SM design in the relative expensive of the manufacture because the many forging machines operation required in 1992 in the series of experiment was carried about help with the these problem and resulting in design change that introduce of number of complex part of refined and manufacturing complex part of refined in the atop new SMK. I hope you guys to enjoy this video. Please subscribe and comments and share with other friends. Take care. Allah Hafiz.